Maybe. There it goes. Kanji's being camera shy today. So I'm just gonna turn that camera off for now. Yep. We're gonna turn that off because he's being rude. He heard me talk about him. Hi. I'm looking at you, Conj. You're being extremely rude. Yeah, silly pooch. Hey, AJ, it's been a while. How are you doing? Candy, being silly. So I am doing 2 recipes today from Final Fantasy 15. I didn't grab my plate. I'm gonna need that later. One is a cake, and then one is the ridiculous sandwich. As I've been telling a few people today, I'm concerned that the sandwich isn't going to look as ridiculously pristine as it does in the photos I took, because that took a bit. Zachary, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. That does mean, Kanji, you do get a treat. Because you got a sub. Thank you, sir. Can you get on your bed? I'm not lying this time. I've been trying to convince it. No, you're not around your bed, just on your bed. Yeah. There you go, pooch. Heck yeah. Thank you, sir. Kanji's happy. Kanji appreciates it. Look at how... I'm gonna say, look at how happy he looks, but he just looks angry. Oh, that pooch. He appreciates it. Now, I'm sure you want to get out of work at this point. So my evening so far has been rushing around because I had to pick up the shrimp for the sandwich, and I had to make sure to have everything set up, so it was a lot of running around this evening. I say evening, it's still like early. But I know this recipe. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by. Have safe travels going home and enjoy your dinner. Say hi to Sarah for me. Got 2 oranges. So, the 2 recipes we're making, the elegant orange cake, and the sandwich. The sandwich, in theory, shouldn't take as long as the cake. The cake needs about an hour in the oven. I've already taken out my eggs and my butter. My butter is still not room temp, so it's going to be a bit. But the first thing I am going to need to work on is making my candied orange here, which isn't too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a large zest of these orange. So we're doing our orange peels, not zest, because zest is much finer. So I'm going to take... I'm going to use this plate. I also have to watch the time because Kanji will get pouty at around now. Because his dinner time is usually 6 o'clock. Jeff had to run out, so I'm going to probably have to stop for a moment to make sure he's being fed. So, I'm using my vegetable peeler, and they don't have to be extremely long pieces. Like if you're not comfortable using the vegetable peeler, you don't want to go too far in. You're going to get some white, but you don't want to go super deep because the white is a bit more bitter. But that's okay. I could be better at this one. I've done this before and it did have like parts of white. You just want to be not too aggressive with it. He's being all rude to me. This is a much thicker orange. I am going to save the oranges after doing this too because I do need a little bit of orange juice out of them. We're good. For some reason this spot here is being rude. So yeah, I want to make sure to... Why is my phone ringing? Hello? love spam. It's my favorite. Actually, most of the time my phone calls are either from my family or spam. That's why I was like, oh, I should check just in case. Okay. Now I know we're not going to need all of it. The nice thing is you can, once you make these into like the candied peels, you could chew on them and enjoy them if it's too much. But you do want to, about a 1/4 cup-ish, which I'd say depending on the size of the oranges that you get, will depend how many you would need. I call for, I just say orange peel, but I know in my pictures I have 2 oranges in there. I think 2 I did as a safety to make sure I had enough. In my head I was like, you know what, let me just get that many to be safe. In worst case, I just have more orange peel to eat. Now, the type of orange you get doesn't matter. Whatever orange you find. I think these are just regular old navel oranges. And of course, I always giggle when I see navel oranges because I'm like, oh, I think of Titan from Final Fantasy 14. So, that's me. Yep. I should be careful and keep like an eye when I'm doing this because this is, I do end up putting a little more pressure than usual. So I have all my pieces. Some of this has a little more white than I would want, but it's a cake that I think will either end up at work or for myself. So if you want to take more time with that, you just make sure to do it slower. Now I have a pan. I am going to move. Kanji, why are you so sad? Got the wrong screen up. Probably going to move the kanji cam soon because there is going to be a lot of action-ish with the... Exactly, who doesn't? So the last time I had this sandwich, I conveniently had 4 people here, and 4 people were able to have a part of it, because it is essentially 4 sandwiches stacked on top of each other. So today it's just, well, it's me right now, and then my husband. He'll be in later, probably when those are just about done. So everyone say goodbye. Say goodbye to kanji for a little bit. One big sandwich. That's what I figured. I'm gonna have probably one of them tonight, and then another one of the sandwiches. I have leftovers for the next 2 days. Woo! So I'm gonna hide the kanji cam for a moment, even though he's being a nice boy and finally getting sleepy, because I want to move that camera and cleverly place it above. I don't need regular flour today. I believe I need cake flour, so that is set up in a location. I walk over here. So there will be no kanji eating camera today. Now we've been doing that the last few streams. I'm gonna need this out of here. Usually I try to make sure I have everything kind of like set up and ready out of my cabinet so I'm not making too much noise, but I don't know what it was about today and timing. It just worked poorly. Okay. We'll see how lined up that is. Beautiful. Little pan. Oh boy. Just put it down. Doot, doot, doot. Also the poorest quality camera. So what I want to do on here is make sure I follow my recipe, which if you all are curious, exclamation point menu, pulls that all up. polenta dumplings. That sounds delicious. Jimmy, it's been a bit. How are you doing? All right. Don't want the white parts. It's very bitter. In a frying pan, add water, bring to a boil. Place peeled rinds in the boiling water. That's going to help remove my bitterness. Okay. Okay, past self, if you say so. This is definitely a recipe that got made a long time ago once. It's difficult for me to like remake desserts a lot of times just because I'm constantly having to make new ones for the website to keep up with it, so redoing things, I'm like, oh, okay, this should work. I've seen other people make this recipe, so I do know. I do know it works. Because if other people are able to. I've actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've worked with polenta. It's just something that I never think about making. It's also something I don't usually order in places. So I'm never like thinking about it and going, oh, I should really do that. Oh my god, that camera is still very sad. Okay, I'm gonna slowly adjust that second one. I'll keep it tiny, and it's like super blowing up, but that's okay. It's doing its job for now. Yeah, the hipsters like the polenta. I mean, it's pretty popular in Italian dishes. But yeah, I'm like, I think most of the time when I see polenta on a menu, I think, you know what? I want the other things more. So, not fair to it, but I definitely get distracted by things. So I'm waiting for this to come to a boil. While it does that, let me think. Bring it to a boil, and then I have to pour out the water and replace it with 2/3 cup and 1/3 cup of sugar. Everything is actually measured there. 2/3 cup. We're having 2/3 cup of water. Kind of prep for that. Yeah. Hopefully I don't need the oh, so it was cold too. Yeah, that makes sense for the polenta. Ooh. So you said it was all right. Would you make it again? Are there things you would change with the recipe that you ended up using? Getting all my stuff set up ahead of time. Making sure to watch the kanji time. To have that come to a boil quicker would be nice. I mean, I guess if you use it enough times, you'll definitely get more and more used to what's required or the fine points of it, of such an ingredient. Just slowly editing things there. Alright. My water is bubbling. So I just want to add this in not too long. I want it to get more boiling. This piece is huge compared to the rest of them. Roughly 30 seconds. So we'll just kind of Now we have delightfully flavored orange water. Yeah, nice simple side at that point. Just a little bit of Parmesan cheese getting the flavor from the polenta itself. This is not hot. Okay. Turn off the heat. So, can't read. Oh my god. I'm gonna say shy. Thank you for the follow. Side stitch. I'm so bad with names. Alright, so I'm just gonna remove this. I'm gonna pour the water out because it's gonna be a little on the stronger side. Hot hands. So if you want to be more careful doing this than I am, and your hands are on the not so dealing with heat, go ahead and use tongs. That would have been the smarter option. So I'm going to carefully move this into the sink. Pan's still nice and hot. So yeah, I boiled that because I want to reduce how bitter they can be. Now the next step is I'm taking 2/3 cup of water, and then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar. Let me read my own instructions. Pour out the water, and then we replace it with 2/3 cup of water and sugar. Mix well and bring to a simmer, and then I'm adding the peels back in because we are making candied carrots. We're not making that. That'd be good, but candied orange peels right now. There's going to be one of the stronger flavors for our elegant orange cake. So you get nice little bites of orange as you make your way through that. So the big thing that we're going to want here is for all the sugar to dissolve before we throw those peels back in. And I'm going to save this, one of them. I only need probably one, because I am going to need about 2 tablespoons of juice. And since we have oranges, why not get the juice from the orange? Saved me money because I don't need to have juice in my house on a usual basis. That was definitely something that I cut out of my diet to kind of reduce my sugar intake a little bit. Because the sugars get you. Drank so much juice growing up. And then as an adult, you look at the numbers and you go, oh no, I've had enough sugar for like several days. That's mostly dissolved. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. And then once it's actually simmering is when we'll put the 8-minute counter. Use this just to kind of clean this off, and then I need to add additional sugar on these. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely, we're just taking it, and I can see this is like blurred out. Can you better? Okay, that webcam. This webcam. I think this is the weekend I finally cave in and replace this one. And that one will be permanently the Conjucam forever. So after we do this part, we're going to toss it in more sugar. And then at that point, you could just eat these by themselves. Because they're a nice little sweet They have a little bit of a bite to them because it's zest. Just have that do that. All right. While this is doing its thing, I'm going to start prepping my dry ingredients. Yes, in a bowl. Which of my bowls do I still have? Do this clear one. Okay, so I want to combine my cake flour and my, dang it, baking powder. Put the baking powder away earlier knowing I'd need it. So I know when Final Fantasy 15 specifically, Final Fantasy 15 originally came out, I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to play this game because there's a bunch of food. Like, that was the reason why I picked up the game, was the food. I would not consider myself like a huge, oh my god, I'm a Final Fantasy fan, because all I've played is 10, 15, and 14. 14's weird because it's an MMO. It's nothing like any of the other games, really. But there are parts of 15 from a game standpoint that I really, really, really liked, which is the first half of the game. And then the back half of the game, I'm like, wow, I wish this didn't exist. That's 1 cup. I'm gonna count before I give this any 2.5 cups. I'm using a half cup. This is half. Whoop. And then 2 cups. Now half. I had a weighing device, which I guess that's the thing I should do during these like redo streams, is actually remeasure things so they can have weights instead of being just in the American standard weight category. But my battery went out. Oh, I did play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 like when they came out. If you were to go, what's the story about? I'd be like, Final Fantasy and Disney stuff happened. For some reason that has not stuck with me. But I've seen like online explanations of them and I'm like, oh no, what is this? I'm gonna let that keep going. I'm gonna quickly grab Kanji's dinner while that's doing that, and I could grab the baking powder that I need for this. So we can get that going. And then I guess once we hit that point, I'll be able... Oh, not hungry? Not moving? I guess Kanji didn't believe I was cleaning his bowl at that point. Okay, baking powder, where are you? Ooh, I don't have a lot of baking powder. I've been making a lot of biscuits recently, so I think that's been eating through it. Ugh. Kanji is a little... Oh no! Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Kanji's lovely food. Some freeze-dried nuggets of lamb. We make sure to keep that all separate because it is technically raw food. But freeze-dried, which is why we will wash hands after. Kanji, the spoiled pup, with his fancy meals. Which, weirdly, after you add the water, they kind of just smell like cup noodles. Clearly, that's the recipe I should have been making from 15 today. This here. Let's see. So all I've put in there is the flour. I need some salt and some baking powder. So a 1/4 teaspoon. That. Just to make sure this is all getting done up. And then 1 teaspoon. Wow. Baking powder. Where have you gone? I didn't think my baking powder was that low, but okay. That's what it looks like. Okay, so we have all that mixed in. Just use the whisk here just to kind of whisk it all together. Oh, I didn't see it on stream. Also, hello, Chef Babylon. For those of you who do like cooking streamers, I would highly recommend checking out Chef Babylon. He is another big food streamer. So he's also part of the same team that I'm on, the Bone In team, which is a group. I think that's the command I made, right? Yeah. That has a bunch of other cooking streamers. They're all wonderful people. So please give them all a check out. Yeah, Streamlabs shows nothing. Nothing, Chef. "45 seconds. That's enough time to give Kanji his dinner." Just enough time, Pooch. There you go. Team meat. Get that meat. That is a good meat emote. All about that. Actually, that timer's about to go off, so I should wait. I should add sugar. Shoosh. 1/3 plus extra. So I'm going to just kind of toss a bunch of sugar on this plate. It's like brown sugar in here. Whoops. That is definitely my own doing. Gonna read it. Make sure I do the recipe as I say. The sugar placed on a plate with sugar. Toss the rinds in the sugar. Alright, so I have a little bit of sugar. If I need more, I will add more. I'm just curious if I want to turn that off. I do want to turn that off. I'm going to toss it in here. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to grab tongs. Do I have tongs? Do I own a pair of tongs? I have like 3. It's definitely one of the like weirder things that I have so many of. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and kind of let some of the syrup fall off a bit. Just kind of toss. The camera will. It's gonna be so blown out, but I will show that over there. Let me just move all these and we'll toss them there. Hope I'll have enough time. think they should harden quickly or anything. We should be fine. Oh wait, I don't have to do that. Swoopy swappy. Yeah. Go ahead and toss this in the sugar. Just use my hands. You don't really want to dry off the zest there because then it's not, the sugar's not going to have much to stick onto. Toss it in. Orange rind. That's what I wanted. That's the word I wanted earlier. An orange rind. Alright, so I'm gonna get my cutting board real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Yeah, I'm gonna take these and cut them into thin slices. Now, this is a dessert. So I'm making two things. So this isn't the ham sandwich yet. The ham sandwich is going to take a lot less time than this will. This is a cake. The ham sandwich, that beast is will be happening soon. Which I actually want to start my oven up. Yeah. Just kind of grab these off. Your half cup. It's also me making sure that the sugar is kind of definitely stuck onto it a little better. Just making sure they're extra sweet. Kind of like pattering around several. Hold on. What are you doing? Double checking that you ate it all? Do-do. Gotta work the sugar in. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice it thin. So yeah, I could take one. And it's just sweet. It has a bit of the bitterness from the, not a super bitter if it was the white part, but it's like it has a hard-hitting orange flavor with it being very sweet. So like I said, you could have this part just as something to snack on. They are definitely, I would probably let them sit in the syrup a little longer, or maybe even kind of dehydrate them a little bit, just so they are a bit more crunchier, because this is pretty soft right now. Think about that. That could be interesting. But this is going in a cake, so I don't need it to be completely like, ooh, I need to eat this. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on chopping. This is definitely. So the recipe, my recipe calls for a 4th cup. Might do a bit more. So yeah, like 1.5 oranges for me would have been the correct amount. But since I have so much extra, I will eat one. Probably chop the rest of this and just include it in there. So it'll be a little stronger on the orange side. Now, based on from what I remember, it wasn't like super in your face with a lot of this in every bite, so a little more is not gonna hurt it. Actually, I wanna come back out here. I wanna chop this a little more, so they're slightly smaller chunks. Excuse me, sugar. I'm going to go ahead and place that there until I need it, which is near the end of my the mixing process. Ooh. Like a cinnamon roll, but with oranges. That does sound... That could be a really good idea. I'm gonna hide the kanji cam and actually... Because we don't need that. I guess I could be nice. Because it's gonna be a little bit till we see... Till I need the stove again. And Kanji's being kind of nice. Not really. He's not on his bed, but maybe he will be. I really like that idea. The orange chocolate cinnamon roll-like idea. That sounds very good. 'Cause let's be serious. Orange and chocolate are just a delicious combination. Yep. This here, and then look at how grumpy he is. Why are you so grumpy, Kanji? Right. Now it is time to keep eating orange zest and sugar. Typically, I'd be like, oh, the smart thing to do is to make the sandwich first so I could have dinner. No, we're going to do it the other way around. So, uh-oh. Kanji, it's okay. No need to bark. Are they dropping off packages somewhere? I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it, Kanji. Oh, actually that might be Jeff coming back because he just moved towards the garage. Can I help you, Kanji? Alright, now we're going to start with my batter. Excellent. My butter has definitely gotten to room temperature. Preheated oven. Cream the butter. Maybe it is. I can't tell if the noise is coming from there or from the oven. And the sugar. How much sugar does my batter need? 1 cup. This is a very sweet dessert. I guess if you're having dessert, it's going to be sweet. Jeff is back. That's why Kanji keeps escaping. Hello, husband. Oh, our chairs. Things are going well, slowly but well. I haven't started the sandwich stuff yet, but that's... I'm still prepping the cake. Because in my head, I'm like, the sandwich shouldn't take that long. There is a bit of marinating that has to happen, but it's like 30 minutes at maximum. And we could start those right away. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Getting my butter there, I'm gonna start adding 1 cup of sugar. Make my life a little easier. So that's a cup of butter, a cup of sugar. Oh my gosh, please. Kanji did eat. Unlike us. You could try some of the orange.
Nope.
There's that at least. Yeah, it's candied orange drawing.
That's real good.
It's delicious.
Has he been on the camera?
He was, or like right before he started hearing the door open.
Or I disturbed him?
Oh, he just ate too. So the camera wasn't, it just recently moved over towards Kanji.
So I should be like walking or anything.
I mean, we could turn it. We could turn it. If you think it's nice enough outside to walk him, you can.
No, if he just ate, I don't.
Oh, that's true too. Okay, now we're gonna start adding the eggs into here. Yeah, good luck with that, Jeff. How'd you getting all that love? Okay, once you start adding eggs, you don't want to overwork things too much. Can't there be too much air. It's actually the moment you start adding the flour that things could become an issue for some reason. Yep. Camera crew Jeffrey. Love the KitchenAid mixer makes my life easier usually. Yep. Also need to add a little extract, about 2 teaspoons. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. 1, 2. Probably also the orange juice. Let me see the order of operations here. Okay. So in the recipe, I call for coconut milk because I think the flavor of coconut milk plays very nicely with orange. Now, if you don't have that, you could easily replace that with just regular milk. That'd be fine too. I just like the flavor combination. I think it works nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that stuff. Coconut milk, yogurt. Yogurt. This fridge is forever like full with stuff. Coconut milk. Orange juice. Like, is that everything? I feel like I'm missing something. No, that's everything. I should have remembered that this had a little bit of vanilla in it, but that's fine. I mean, it's a cake. I wouldn't, well, no, you'd probably be fine. Maybe drinking it together. I don't know, wouldn't recommend it, maybe. A 4th cup. So it's not too much. A little portion. And then we want about 2 tablespoons of this. We can do this over the sink. So 1/2 of this. Do 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 do. Okay, and then 1/2 cup. There's a 1/2 cup. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 of this in here. And onto the countertop, 1/2 of it. 1/2 for the countertop, 1/2 for the recipe. I have found that, yes, some people really just don't like that flavor of them. I've learned certain brands of like coconut milk and certain brands of almond milk that I really like. Soy milk was pretty miss for me. I didn't find it as good. I'm gonna grind this. I was actually having that conversation with my sister-in-law because she was like, "Well, I don't like any of them. The flavors are pretty bad." I said, "You just have to find. I think from brand to brand, the flavor is extremely different. And I know the ones I usually buy, I'm not buying. I have no sugar or anything in them because usually when they're added to something, it's added to something sugary." Okay, so you have tried quite a few. So I'm going to add this in, the yogurt. Hopefully, yes, that sounds right. I'm going to add the yogurt, and then I'm going to also add this mixture here. And then we'll add the remaining flour. And then after that, we mix in the orange rinds, and that cake will be ready to go. Which means we'll finally be able to ignore it. Okay. Do it this way just to make sure, and then I will show you the end result once it is all put together. Mixing that up. It is a decently thick dough, but it works. I think even growing up, I wasn't big on like, I'm gonna have a whole cup of milk. But usually it was like, I'd have a cup of milk with a bunch of cookies. So it'd be, honestly, it'd be cookies with milk. So for me, it was pretty easy because we reduced how much like milk we like intake. So I don't buy milk unless it's like for a recipe. Like I want it for a recipe. So I'm not sitting around drinking it. Which I know some people that do. They need to have their glass of milk before bed. That's enough. I don't want to overmix this. So it's all together. Whoop. That's... Oh yeah, that's still good. It's very sweet. But, that's fine. Whoop. This is before I add the orange rinds in. Bye, Candied. Boop. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely has its benefits. I think after a while I was just like, oh my gosh, there is so much sugar in it. It says me as I'm like putting sugar covered orange rinds in here, right? But like here in the States, where breakfast was typically, oh, have a bowl of cereal, you know, just a bowl of sugar milk. I think that was the biggest reason why I've cut as much milk out, because we don't eat cereal anymore. Stuff is awful. Right. I want to make sure I did everything. Following my own instructions. Mixed it in, or plopping it in here. So, make sure I get it all. Which I didn't yet. Come here. There we go. All of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread her out. Alright, so I've gone ahead and just like flattened it out some, so it's all kind of even. Oh. No, what I'm going to do is throw that in the oven, and it's in there for a while. I think at least an hour. Hour 15. Pop it down a little bit. Pat. Yeah, it's in here. You can see the orange all throughout it. Go closer. Yep. Oh no, the sun. So yeah, there's orange. It's in there. Some areas that are kind of like holes. Whoop, whoop. There. Just gonna go ahead and throw that in. Now, while you're cooking it, if you get worried that your top is browning too quickly, you could go ahead, kind of keep an eye on it and cover it with aluminum. The recipe does call... That doesn't... Oh. So if you want it to look like it does in the game, you are going to have to cut the edges off because this is going to brown. So, you know, that's what I had to do when I made it. I was like, oh, well, I guess it's time to just cut the edges off. I'm gonna go ahead do some minor cleanup. I don't need this anymore, but I am gonna need to prep certain things. I am also gonna have to, the shrimp I got, I do have to like deal with cleaning it up. I think that's one of my least favorite parts about shrimp. Well, probably why I don't eat a lot of shrimp to begin with. Dealing with like the cleanup, it's just like, ugh. It's fine. I get it. But shrimp is definitely lower on my list of fish that I like to eat. I need to rinse this real quick. Jeff, do you want some orange? Come grab yourself some orange. Put it to the side. Big pieces of orange. Need to rinse this because I'm going to need this for cutting. Your cue popped. Oop. There we go. Let me see. Ah. That is clever. And that makes sense. The spoon removal method. And I need to wash my knife. I think I have to sharpen it too because it was being funky. I think if I've ever had to deal with like pouring cement at all. I don't think I ever have. Definitely not a thing. I remember my dad doing it once or twice in our backyard. Up in Chicago, there were sections that needed to be redone up. So I'm gonna start with putting the timer here. Because that would be a good idea. I'm gonna start with the eggplant. Never poured it, no. I haven't had a reason to. I've seen it done a lot. Oh man. I'm gonna, start with the eggplant. Which, for some reason, my local grocery store only had the, like, fattest of eggplants. Put you away. Don't need that anymore. Goodbye, mixer. I'm gonna give this a rinse. I will probably cut this in half. So this the thickest eggplant. This amount of eggplant we'll probably make 3 portions of like that layer of the sandwich. Yeah, because this is a lot. I think you put only a few. I have to like look at what I've done. Hello, eggplant. Why are you so ridiculous? It's a good eggplant. Wondering. Gotta look at my slices of bread here. And look at the image. To make sure I get that. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave that. So the 4 sandwiches, 2 of them have white bread and 2 of them have like a multi-grain looking bread, which now I have a lot of bread for the week, more than I usually need. So happy I bought extra. What have I said? No. I'm just gonna go ahead and carefully cut this into nice, thick, between a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, I think 1/2 inch, thick slices of eggplant. Because in that portion, that is probably the only portion of the sandwich that is, I believe it's vegetarian. Yeah, because it has the eggplant, avocado, and roasted red peppers. So every other part of the sandwich has either meat or fish. This eggplant might make like a lot more than that. I think like 3 slices would be. Alright, I'm just gonna do this much eggplant because that is a lot of eggplant. I will wrap you up. And maybe I'll make a pasta tomorrow with this. Now I have a lot of eggplant. Actually, you too. There we go. Put that away. Hello, Renee. We're making a big old sandwich. Well, slowly making a big old sandwich. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. Think about how I want to do this. Might have to do this one in the Ziploc bag. I don't want to, but it's gonna sit better. Alright. The recipe that goes in here is very similar to the recipe I use for the Nebula Salmon, which is also a Final Fantasy 15 recipe. It's pretty simple. I essentially take mirin, which is sweet cooking rice wine, and soy sauce, some garlic powder, a little bit of sugar. Is that true? Yep. Say a little bit of sugar. There's a good chunk of sugar in there. Oh, I didn't grab the rice vinegar. Keep looking at the number and I'm like, what does it say? It says 1/3. There's only a 1/4 cup, but I have more, but I didn't grab it. Let me go get that real quick. And my rice vinegar. I'll use the better stuff today. Ew. That salmon recipe is definitely one. This one's open too. That has now officially made it to my always make on Thanksgiving list. So, because we have a large group of people and it gives variety. Soy sauce. And we got my soy sauce, and we're gonna go ahead and add that in here. A little bit of rice vinegar. And soy sauce will go back in the fridge. What else do I need? Garlic powder and ginger powder. I have that out. If you don't have garlic powder and ginger powder, go ahead and use like a garlic paste or actual garlic or actual ginger, whatever you got. We ain't gonna be too picky about that. I find that the powder at least helps penetrate it a little better, so that's why I end up using that instead. I'm gonna just keep eyeballing things. There are numbers there, but I do find with this recipe you can honestly just kind of eyeball it. I've eyeballed it enough times that it tastes fine each time. But as long as you have those basic flavors and the ratio is mostly correct, it'll be good. I believe a little sweeter than the salmon one, but it's fine. Like, what am I looking for? Grab 1 spoon. Okay, I'm giving it just a little bit of a whisk-ish. Whisk-ish. Just mixing that all up. Go ahead and put that in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the pieces of eggplant in there. And then we'll mix it up. And then this is it's going to sit for 30 minutes. Which probably I'll put it in the fridge, and then I'll start right now dealing with the shrimp. So we get to clean shrimp. What a mess. So 15 minutes, I want to flip that, just so every part's kind of clean. I'm going to grab... Kanji, you have once again eluded the cameras by just having your legs in there. Alright, let me see. The shrimp have a very similar seasoning on them because we wanted the sandwich to kind of flow together. They're 4 separate parts, technically, but we can be nice and kind of make sure it all plays with the same flavors. So Hopefully this says PC. Alright. I'm gonna keep this here because I'm gonna need that soon, and I'm gonna need that. Come here, bowl. So with the shrimp, we're gonna want to make sure to remove. We don't need the tails. We want to take. What I have is there. They're all on, legs on, tail on. We are removing the shell. Yes, shell. Don't need the tail on. There are some recipes I like to have the tail on because then it has that nice like presentation. There's a place for someone to grab. But this is going into a sandwich. So the next thing we're gonna want to do is take out the trash vein. Which I just cut. And then I open and then I go get the hell out of here. Kind of check both ends. Sometimes there's just like a vein that runs through. You can't. I have used. Probably should grab one. A toothpick is real nice for also just kind of like poking things out. This'll do. This is a weird stick. Because it's thin enough that you can kind of get under pieces, and then it'll help you pull that out. Some of these are a little more full. But this was the shrimp that was on sale, so I'm definitely going to give them a rinse before I do anything with them after I clean them up. So like this one was the hungry boy. On the recipe, it calls for about 10 to 15. I think per sandwich, you could put between 5 and 8. So this will make 2 parts of that sandwich. You could also just overfill a sandwich. I only bought 8 today. Ugh. There we go. Come on now. You want to make sure you are comfortable with your knife too with this, because you are working with a small thing, but I do recommend just, okay. Being cautious, and of course making sure that your knife is sharp at that point, because a dull knife typically leads to cuts. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Keep removing parts from shrimp. So I'm just going ahead, I'm removing the shells first, then I remove the tail, it's all out, and I cut the top. Ugh, what do these things have? I don't like that one. It's a little funk. Repeat. So, shell off. Come on, tail. Tail off. Cut. Still shell there. If you're not comfortable doing like the cleanup of the shrimp, you could typically like ask the the person you're buying it from, if it's at like a, not a butchery, but whatever, the fishmonger, they could do the cleanup for you ahead of time. I've gone in and asked them to like, they'll have whole red snapper, and I'm like, oh, can you just remove certain parts, whatever, depending on the recipe, what I need removed. And they will. I think each time I've done red snapper, I've typically like used the whole piece, left the head and tail on, but don't want any scales or fins, no need for that. That's the recipe I'll do. I have a steamed whole red snapper recipe I did for Overwatch a bit back. When I rinse this, I'm also going to make sure the cutting board and all that also get a little bit of a rinse. So we're deveining everything in these boars. You could also use like a frozen shrimp. Just make sure to defrost it before you like marinate them and do all that. Get out of here. There we go. It was like mundane of task. 2 more. Cleaning up shrimp. Oh, Renee, you're still here. Yes, you look like you are. When you were driving back, did you see, was the fire still happening? Were you able to see that at all? Because in typical Houston fashion, there is something on fire. That's not really true. This past year is the first time all that nonsense has really happened since we've lived here. Oh, that's weird. I don't know if anyone else had any issues with this stream. I don't see any dropped frames or anything. Sometimes Twitch is weird. What do you... Kanji is starting to smell the shrimp now, so he's like, ooh, what's this? It's possible the fire's already out. I don't know. I haven't looked much into it since then. Twitch is usually a jerk. Okay, almost done with the shrimp. Sorry, kanji. Shrimp is not kanji approved. Right. Do this. Excellent. Thank you all for checking in on that. I'm gonna rinse. I'll be right back. I'm gonna rinse these right over here. I'm just kind of dump them in that bowl because that's where they're gonna be marinating in. I'm just double checking to make sure all the veins, all the poop track. Now, the main reason I did start the eggplant first is the eggplant tends to take a bit longer to cook. Shrimp cook pretty quickly. And then a lot of the other portions of the sandwiches are just stacking. We will be stacking, deli meat in some fashion. The sandwich has salami, ham, turkey, prosciutto, so a large variety of deli meats. A perfect sandwich for each of the carboys. Just make sure to make that this board is clean, because shrimp can be messy. Excellent. Cutting board is clean. Not sure if I'm gonna need it again, but we'll see. Yeah, if you do, can you, I guess, turn the kanji cam off if he's gonna go for a walk. So, shrimp. Now, in there, it needs it's just soy sauce, sugar, salt, pepper. Very, very easy. Let me go ahead and flip this already. Now, if you want to marinate some of this earlier, you can. I would say the eggplant can probably be done the morning before. You're going to go ahead and make these. This is less and not need as much. Got that zoom in with kanji. That's all kanji wants. Kanji wants his walk. Go ahead, kanji. Putting some pepper in. Getting some salt. Go ahead, kanji. Go get your butt outside. Yeah. I believe that's all it needs. Soy sauce, sugar, salt, pepper. Okay. That I'm going to just leave there. I'm going to put this away. And then we're going to have to wait a few minutes. So I think I did this on stream. So I still have some of my blackberry tea. I made this Friday. I'm going to have a little bit. Which with this, what I did with that was I made a blackberry syrup and then just kind of combined it with black and white tea. No, an Earl Grey, that's black tea, and white tea. So I'm not going to have too much. And that was very good. Well, thank you for stopping by, Tubi. You have a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you again, because, yeah, it's been a bit. Think my schedule is finally kind of like settling back to normal. I've had a few weird weeks there. Oof, 2 a.m. Well, thank you for stopping by. I will be doing, I hope, a Friday stream, depending. But that'll be another cooking stream, so that time will be a little nicer to you. But have a wonderful night. Enjoy yourself. And I'm going to actually grab the plate that we're going to dress this on. It's a plate I haven't used in a while. So, if you have played Final Fantasy 15, this plate, let's zoom in even more, is the plate that you can find in the game. It's Coleman labeled and everything. Jeff was wonderful enough to look online on Japanese Amazon. When the game came out, this was the previous year's model. So they had a new like blue one, but this is the exact one that's found in the game. So I have this plate. I don't have any of the bowls or anything else, but that was definitely a nice little touch that I was able to do. Also, hello, Opie. How are you this evening? I hope things went better for you today, because I know you had a little bit of a rough day yesterday. Trying to think. Because I need all that to kind of rest right now. I can get my pan ready and probably start shuffling the webcam over. Because we'll do the eggplant, and then we'll do the shrimp, and then that's when we'll begin the piling. I don't think I need... Yes, I do need tomatoes. Already starting to look... Well, I hope you find something that works better for you, because, yeah. Also, being sleepy, that right there is like my mood. Sometimes the work days are long. I guess I'll start getting everything kind of out. I have alfalfa sprouts. Got butter lettuce. Need to grab my avocados. Avocado? Other avocado? Where are you? Because 2 portions of the sandwich have avocado on them. Well, actually, I'll just bring this out just so it's there. All my sandwich meats. So what we could probably do is any of the portions that are maybe the sandwich-based one, sandwich-based ones, the meat-based ones, we'll be able to kind of set up and then sit in the fridge until we need to set each of the pieces up. Really worried about how to set it up into the big sandwich again. I'm going to show you the exact way I did it on the with the blog. It does require some skewers, because otherwise it won't be it won't be structurally safe. Let's pull this around. Soon we will start. This is why that camera's off, I hope. Yep, it's off. Excellent. Soon we'll start setting all that up. I don't believe any portion of this has cheese in it, so it is no cheese sandwich. Where's the... Ah, the shrimp. That has balsamic vinegar. Okay, did I? Yes, I do have it up. There's like weird pieces that I remembered to pick up and other pieces I didn't. I think what else? Got that. So for meats, yeah, I have prosciutto, I have some turkey, I have some salami, and then I have some ham. Some nice variety there. That has cheddar cheese. Shh, I lied. There is cheese in this. And I do have cheddar cheese, luckily. I think. I do. So I'll start prepping that. That'll be something to prep. The only one that has... Yeah, the weird... one of the portions... Look at the... I kept staring at like the in-game image for a while, trying to like figure out what each of the layers had. And one of the layers is like, oh, here's a bunch of ham and then lettuce and then cheese on top. I'm like, who's doing that? Cheese slices. I think in my head usually like the lettuce goes like on top of all the important things. Real. This is a good slice. These slices are thick. This one's too thin. Oh my gosh, cutting. Cutting blocks of cheese. So the one I will probably have tonight is going to be the shrimp one, because shrimp doesn't hold well. Maybe a good piece. It could probably be fine as a cold sandwich afterwards, but get rid of the one that I'm least excited about. Or I could have 2 half sandwiches. Have variety. Or just eat all 4 at once, as the game intended. That should be enough. Actually, I'm going to be right by you real quick. So things are still marinating, so we need to do that real quick, but I will be right by you. Okay. And actually, because we're gonna probably start. So gotta fix that cam again. So we'll be able to start the eggplant soon. Ease. And once we get those underway, it'll just be mostly like build up. I'm gonna heat this up. So I think you could get away with either. You could roast these, or you could, or just follow the recipe doing the pan grilling them. If you did decide to make this on a grill outside, I would probably recommend making sure it marinates longer so there's a little more extra liquid in there. Like I said earlier, the shrimp is going to be a super fast one. I'm going to look at the cake real quick. It's behaving itself, so it's good. I want to make sure I have all of my elements kind of starting to be set up. Diane. My one weakness. There we go. So if you want, you can roast your red peppers while you're making these sandwiches. Also, it calls for roasted red peppers. I just bought this because I realized I was going to roast them today, but I realized my oven's going to be in use. Probably, so I'm only going to make one of each sandwich right now. So I will probably keep portions kind of separated to only make one today, and then if we want more, we can easily do that. Alright, that's heated up nicely. I'm going to spray some nonstick spray. Oop. I'm going to rinse these tongs because it has sugar water on them from earlier. Uh-oh. Sugar water. And we'll use this to flippy flop our eggplant. Probably hasn't exactly been a half hour, but close enough. Close enough. Yeah. I'm curious how many I will be able to fit on here. I do think... Oh, wait. That's more important to look at. The cooking action. That ain't the recipe. I believe it's about 4 to 6 minutes per side. That's me guessing. Let's actually take a look. Four to 6 minutes per side. 31. Alright. So. What we will need to do is keep this plate over here for now. No, let's keep this plate safe. Let me also grab the wood skewers that I'm going to need to have this sandwich stack on itself. Because otherwise it will fall on itself. Gravity is a cruel, cruel thing. Jeez, that. Yeah. Just prep these, have them ready, put them on the place that they need to be, and then we will worry about building things up. I guess the biggest suggestion with this is if you are going for the ridiculous sandwich and you're going to be piling them all up, have everything prepared beforehand. Have your eggplant cooked, have your shrimp cooked, have just the elements don't have to be piping hot. I think as a sandwich, you're allowed to have it be just sandwiched, sandwich temperature. Do you know I will need. I do recommend using the Japanese mayo over regular mayo in this recipe again. That's, oops, sorry about that. Probably more to what they would have. This tends to be a bit sweeter than American mayo. I'm gonna go ahead, we're getting those nice little grill marks across them. Reduce the temperature a little bit. Whoop, yeah. Like I said, a lot of this cooking part will be pretty rapid fire. I'm gonna get the pieces of bread out, so I wanna grab from the larger part. So you're gonna want 4 slices of white bread, and then 4 slices of the multigrain. Hello, Nisha-chan. How are you doing today? Alright, so now 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are slightly different in terms of size, which again, that plays into this whole nightmare of making sure to stack everything. Because I'm pretty sure, what do we start with? Our bottom layer, of course, is the smaller one. Pure chaos. Oh no, did you have a long day? Definitely. Did I buy the same pieces of bread? Meh, whatever. Oh, and yeah, you're a later riser, and I know you said for work you have to get up earlier. Ugh. Are you having to go? Do you have to go in tomorrow, or do you get to finally get some sleep? That's good. That's nice. So it's good to get all your like responsibilities done, but then I'm sure it's also relieving to be like, well, no, I don't have to think about it. This is the waiting game part where it's like, it's cooking, it's cooking. ahead and start grabbing some of these centerpieces because it's technically a little more over. And we just want to make sure our eggplant is nice and cooked and has little nice grill marks on it. Turn that off. And now we can work on the shrimp. I need to grab butter. And that's super simple, that part. And I think, yeah, I could... The eggplant, I could just sit there and kind of eat that. See, whoop. Goodbye, butter. You are now one with the floor. It has a cover, so it's fine. I think if I were to pick which layer I probably like the most, it's probably going to be the eggplant one. I'm a sucker for that. Alright, so let me put this here. Like, where's my little pan? I don't need a big pan. Did I just break everything? Yep. Wrong lighter. There we go. That made it sound like it was gonna fall, and I was like, no, please, no more things on the floor. I don't want that. So we're gonna let that cool. So this is our shrimp that's been marinating. 6, 7 pieces, because one of them was real funky. Real funky. That is a really good emote. That is very good. Oh yeah, but eggplant is so wonderful to be like, oh, I want to be really, really full. So I'm just gonna, but I only want to eat veggies. Eggplant does a good job of replacing the need for meat. Since I am using a little less than what the recipe originally called for. I gotta remember. 2 to 3 minutes. So that's the big difference. This cooks very quickly. So you have like the most intense song. Okay, no, it's just ending. It was really the game was excited for the eggplant cooking earlier. Now Kanji's excited for the shrimp. Alright, so I don't need this. I have a little plate for these guys. Okay, and then we're gonna get into the construction phase. I feel like I'm looking at it from a far distance. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, eggplant's here. I'm gonna start kind of preparing a little bit. So I'm gonna remove my avocado seed carefully. If you do that with, oh, today is National Avocado Day, so we're doing something right. I look at that from time to time because I'm like, oh, maybe I could post one of my old recipes up. And I was like, well, whatever. I did a guac recipe last week. No need to redo that. if you have a a whole thing of avocado and you don't want to use all of it, if you want to use half of it, use the half that doesn't have the seed in it, because the seed helps keep it from browning too quickly. It's a little tip, avocado tip. It's gonna brown either way because the oxygen hit it at that point, and it's open to the elements. I'm gonna kind of like get this out carefully. Again, be careful with your knife. If you're not comfortable with your knife, use a spoon to do that. Make sure you're doing what you're comfortable with. There we go. These are probably just about done. Just about. Give them another minute. Alright, so. Maybe we'll have a camera. I'm gonna move that camera. I'm trying to think, because it's gonna be a lot of like sandwich construction. We should be good at this point. Are we? Just one more minute. One more minute. Wonder, yeah, maybe if I move this here, we'll be able to have kind of a overhead-ish view of the sandwich being made. We'll test that. Why not? We'll see if it works. Now at this point. Okay. Give me a second to try and set that up. Put this here, put this here, keep that there. Turn the camera off so I don't make you all dizzy. This may or may not work, but we'll see. Careful. Awkward camera angle. Probably want to put a plate under it because that bread is just like matching the countertop. I'll keep that as the smaller one. I'm gonna also fix one thing. Give me a second. We're trying to... Actually, let me shuffle things real quick. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. You could go back here. Avocado, you could go here. You two items can go right here. We're getting there. Okay. Hopefully it's not moving too much. I don't want to make anyone seasick. Whoop. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Carry. Here. Cord's like pulling. Whoop. There we go. I'm gonna keep that one small, and because the camera is not the prettiest. This. Two views. Okay. So this first one that we're gonna make is gonna be. It's still really blown out. Give me 1 second. Okay, one more fix. Camera's so sad. Figure this one. That. Advanced settings. Oh wait, that's not gonna. A little better. Oh gosh, no, yikes. No, please camera, why? Alright, that should be right. Alright, so the first sandwich that we're going to make is the one that has the eggplant as its primary thing. So the first thing we're going to do, and this is our bottom layer of the entire whole sandwich. First thing we're going to do is add avocado onto it. We want a whole layer of avocado just kind of riddled at that bottom layer. I'll just use my hands. No, I'm gonna definitely need more avocado. There we go. Fit the avocado on correctly. Bink. Okay, music. Alright, so we have our layer of avocado. What I'm gonna do is get it wet. This is gonna get messy very quickly. Just keep this here. Got my avocado. So now I want to stack up some eggplant. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that you kind of have the edges of it around the outside, because in the original image we have the original image from the game, it kind of has you could tell it's eggplant because of this like outside layer. So I think at this point, because this was a huge eggplant, having these 3 slices here should be enough. And now we're gonna just go ahead and top that. Might have to cut this. Actually, I grabbed the right amount. I'm gonna cut this one in half. We're gonna go ahead and add that on there. So now we have our roasted bell pepper. Yeah, red bell pepper. And on that, I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to change up what I wrote there. Before I put that on, I'm going to put the balsamic vinegar on. Just across here, because the eggplant will kind of absorb it a little better than anything else would. Okay. Back to stacking this on. Bam. And now we take the top of this. And this is... No, I forgot the lettuce. Poor lettuce that's sitting back here, patiently waiting for me. So I'm going to have to rinse all these pieces as I go. Yeah, this should be enough. Don't want it to be too wet. Boop. Lettuce. Put that there. Now, the part that we're going to have to do, because structure is going to be the most important, we're going to have to carefully pierce this guy. This is our base, so this one's going to get 2. Like I said, I'm going to show you how I did it to get the whole thing stacked up. So at this point, this is our base. We are transferring it on to our plate. Just be careful, don't stab yourself with the sandwich. We have our base layer. I guess I'll leave it there so as I make them. Now the next part, we're going to take the white bread because they like to have the portions kind of switch between white and the multigrain. Bread's not the happiest, but this is what we got. We're gonna put. Okay. We're putting a layer of the Japanese mayo on the bottom. Just kind of looking at it like, oh, what the heck? I'm going to put a little bit at the top too, just to be a glue eventually. Now, the next step then is to add the Japanese mayo and then a layer of lettuce. So this is our bottom layer, this guy right here. This has lettuce twice in it because I'm looking at the image. You can see lettuce kind of on both ends. That I want some. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom. I think one of the trigger things was figuring out what the heck are all these pieces of meat? What is everything? So on here I have both ham and prosciutto. Now I'm going to go a little more extravagant than I did. I don't think any other ones need ham, right? Just making sandwiches for the rest of the week. No more ham. But now I'm also going to top that with prosciutto, which is just the better ham. So I think each of these, but I'd say the shrimp one has 2 different kind of elements of meatiness to it. So with like the eggplant one, it was the eggplant and the bell peppers. This one has the ham and the prosciutto. The next one will have ham and no, it'll have turkey and salami. It's just kind of different elements that get to play with one another. So, and then I top with lettuce again, and then we're going to put the cheese on. I remember. See, I'd bought lettuce the previous week of shopping, so it's like, let me make sure I go through all that first before. I don't need to buy another one. I'm just going to get a little close. Oop. In the image, there's definitely a layer of lettuce between this and the cheese. Now I'm gonna add cheese. Kind of spread out like that, because I believe, if I look at it. Yep. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. They're kind of like thinly sliced pieces that are just kind of like fanned out. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And now we're going to carefully look at what I did in my image. Okay. And we're going to play the careful, careful. So it is a little off center. Please play nice sandwich. Oh God, it's like crisscrossing. Okay. We got 2 layers so far. 2 sandwiches so far. I think these sticks are going to be a little too long for what we're doing, but we can cut that afterwards. So our next layer is going to be, once again, with the multi-grain. Now this one has, I decided on turkey. Again, we're adding the Japanese mayo on this one. Do this again, just so we have a stick at the top, a sticking element. And then add Japanese mayo and then the turkey. I know in the image I used a different turkey. I didn't feel like buying that kind of turkey. I was lazy. I didn't feel like going up to the deli counter, so I was just like, oh, whatever. Whatever they have, like, mixed up there. So it's like the boring turkey. Kind of regret not going up to the deli counter, because this is definitely boring turkey. And then I'm going to put, because once again, the lettuce is in an awkward spot of the sandwich. This is definitely one of the recipes in the game that, like, Ignis learns on the road from, like, the Chocobo farmer. It's like, what is this person thinking? Why are certain things stacked in this way? Just kind of put lettuce however we can fit it. Please. There. Now we're gonna grab salami. Do. I'm gonna eat a piece of salami because I have a lot of that. Now, this one does have sprouts on it. And I know sprouts can sometimes be tricky to find at grocery stores. I actually could not find any at my local grocer this week. Actually, I don't think I've ever been able to. So I conveniently have a friend who lives across town and is near a Whole Foods. So they were like, oh yeah, they had like a bunch of different kinds. I'm like, I can't even find one kind. I think it needs more lettuce. Just to get a little more oomph in it. I hope the top layer doesn't need lettuce. It doesn't. It just needs avocado. A little more oomph in the front. And now I need to get my sprouts. Assume I gotta give these a rinse. there's so many. Okay, wait, yep. Dry these off. Might actually grab even more of this, but we'll see. Like setting it up in the opposite door. You can't see the turkey much, but all right. And we're gonna again try to carefully place this portion. Please. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to cut this guy. Okay, we're looking like a sandwich. I'm still holding together, so that's good. Topples over. I'd be so sad. Yep, that's actually the cake timer. So, before I make the last sandwich, I'm gonna look at all the water that I put on the floor. Grab a nut. I'm gonna check this one out. Nope. I'm gonna actually cover the top because that is brown. The inside isn't cooked much. It's cooked, but it's not done yet. Pull that out. Ugh. Be careful here not to like burn myself. Probably needs between 15 20. That timer 15. We'll do 15 first. For the last sandwich, this definitely is a sandwich that does exist in Japan, because I had a friend mention they would go to the Subway and it was avocado and shrimp. That was one of their favorite ones to grab. Hello, the creator. This recipe is stacked. Nice, Onishi-chan. I'm proud of that. That's just because Final Fantasy music likes to be as epic as possible. Alright? It's just like, oh my gosh. All of the things are happening. Actually, I think we're probably hitting like all the like bigger boss fights. Just, man, that game. So when I played it, when Jeff and I played it, do both sides again. We both had our own saves, and we were both playing separately, and we were like, "Oh, this is really cool." And then we noticed, oh shoot, what was coming out? Was it Tales of Berseria at like the same time? That seems right. And we're like, oh, we really need to finish this game because we're gonna get distracted by this Tales game that's coming out. So we're hitting the midway point, and I think I've heard from numerous people the midway point is pretty bad. There's a very definite switch of the game compared to how it was, because I think I spent at least 15 hours in the first half of the game, and then Jeff and I hit that midway point like, let's just play it together. My save was a little further, so like in terms of like getting extra stuff done. So I was like, okay, let's play off of mine. The end is just oof. After the big like Leviathan fight, the game just kind of, even like during the Leviathan fight, it's just like, oh, what happened here? Oh, what is this nightmare? It's like the first half of the game, like I would recommend checking out like the first half of the game because it's very good. I enjoyed it a lot, just roaming around, being a bunch of carboys. The cooking stuff is a lot of fun. The combat at that point, and then they just, I don't know what I think that's probably when the development team was told to stop. You know what I forgot? There's supposed to be tomato on the bottom of this. So we'll reverse which one's the top and which one's the bottom because avocado ends up being both on the top and bottom-ish. There's a lot of avocado happening in this. It's because I didn't take out the tomato. That's what I forgot. I do know like the game had planned a lot of DLC and then they're like, oh, never mind. I didn't play any of the DLC, so I don't know. Is 15 on the PC? I feel like they started putting games on PC, but I don't know if 15's on there. I'm not, yeah, is it on the PC? Because they've started doing that. Tomatoes being rude. Okay, this is my bottom piece now. Tomato chunks are a little larger than they need to be. That's fine. Well, there you go. If anything, what I could say with that game is the first 6 chapters, because I think it's split into chapters. Before you go on a boat where they kind of say, you can't come back anymore, that part is a... You know what, I'll probably just wait for a sale, because they do a lot of sales. I'd say wait for it on sale. Avocado, please. Or no. This seed is definitely a... There. Just peel that out carefully. Alright. So it's avocado, avocado. It's like, oh no, did I goof it a little bit? No. We did not goof it. We're not in the goof zone yet. Oop. Avocado, avocado. Oh, I just realized I probably am like missing things. Except the wrong scene up. Okay, no, I didn't. Good. Goody. This is just an avocado sandwich. Riddled with avocado. Alright. Where's my shrimp? Alright, so now I'm going to just kind of add shrimp. I think the shrimp ends up being one of the trickier portions because the pieces are so small. So to have it kind of stay together when you put it all together is like, no, please stop falling out. Stay in. So I will kind of give it an extra little push. I hope I just, just gone over. There's going to be a huge sandwich here. Just kind of give it a Prius. Okay, here we go. Of course, they would put the tricky... it would be nice if this one was like the base. Because then I don't have to worry about the shrimp falling out as I attempt to... ta-da, put it on. Just jam it back in if it falls out. Yeah. Not even putting it on, it's already falling out. What did I do? Did I put toothpicks in this one? This one might have been skewered a few times. Actually, I need the right visuals. I need all that shrimp right there. A little, I do. Now this is where the illusion gets hidden. That would be the only way to eat this, right? So the correct way to eat it, and I think there's a reason why there's 4 different sandwiches. There's 4 carboys, so each of them technically get a sandwich. Because they are 4 individual sandwiches. Like when you look at it, it's just like, oh, Ignis was crazy and he was inspired by this ridiculous sandwich and just stacked them all together. That's how I've always interpreted it. Do this and then make sure not to eat the toothpicks. No. Now, oh, I don't like how far forward that's leaning. Come back, come back. Shrimp sandwich, I need you to... No. I'm just gonna live with that. We'll pretend like that worked out well. I do need one more toothpick. Man, when I did this, there was a lot of like sitting here going, oh God, please don't fall, please don't fall. Now we gotta hide our toothpicks. Carefully cutting these off. I feel like it's just gonna topple over today. And then the most important element to top it off. Oh, that's shrimp piece is just gonna fall off. Four of these sandwiches topped on top of each other? Y'all, no. Think Ignis would be the only one that could handle that madness. Where's your scene? It stands! Alright, let me, careful. Because it is leaning forward. Sandwich has mad lean on it. Because this one's so far back. I'm gonna disconnect this. And really quickly... Oh, please come on. We're gonna move this closer. So I break everything over back there. But there are the 4 layers of madness. The sandwich is stacked. We got our lower layer with the eggplant. And then we got our turkey and prosciutto layer. And then in the back, kind of hidden because I oopsed that one. is our turkey and salami, and then we have the avocado and shrimp one that's just kind of like, I'm gonna fall out. So I don't believe there are any people in here that would be able to like eat the whole thing at once. So the correct way to enjoy them is as individual sandwiches. Now this is the easier part, deconstructing it and having them be for portions. Bye, Opie. Thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful evening. Eat something delicious. Whoop. Okay, Jeff. We got us. Should take a picture of it for once, because I'm so bad after streams. Like it's not as nice as the one I made on the site, but the point is mostly there. It got a little lean. I think the portions of bread that I had are. Okay, so now it's time to deconstruct it. So carefully take this one off. Shall take this. The game does have several different kinds of sandwiches, but the look of them don't match. Any of them match that one, so I think at one point I made one of the other sandwiches. So I've realized I've had a hard time finding games with like sandwiches in them. I love sandwiches. They're real simple, and they can be nice and hearty. It's actually already coming. These sticks were already coming out. Whoop. There we go. We've separated our sandwiches. We now have 4 portions. Which, Jeff, if you would like a portion of sandwich from the Earl of Sandwich. Should I turn this guy on? Yeah, because kanji. Yeah, the cake smells delicious. So this is your only. You want me to cut it in half? Yeah, you're not going to eat it on this plate. Oh, gotta check the cake. This is a display plate only. I did show it off earlier. And it's one of my... Ooh, it smells very orangey in here. My favorite. It's a very specific purchase. It's almost... Actually, it might be. Let me tap it. Yeah, it's on the cutting board. So, cut it on the cutting board. Okay, yeah, the cake's also done. Which, we might not be able to cut into it too quickly because it does need to cool before you cut it. I've made that mistake before. So we'll be able to at least show the end result. And then I can make recommendations on how you're going to want to... Yeah, that camera's turned off because I'm like, it's useless now. This is a no eating plate. So now I could have 2 portions, 2 different halves. Are you taking extra eggplant? I was like, Jeff, that could be a sandwich for tomorrow. Yeah. I'm so happy Spotify has like most of the Final Fantasy soundtracks because I'm like, oh, okay, I could just put this in. Hey, the Kitty Meister. There will be, I mean, the video should be up and you'll be able to catch it. The vlog or the VOD, that's the word. What are the internet words? They're so hard. The VOD. And I gotta remember where I put toothpicks in. I have been slowly moving all of the cooking stream stuff to a YouTube channel. I haven't put it live yet. I think that's something I'm going to probably set up. Oh my god, this is a lot of sandwich. Probably going to set that up this week, depending on my schedule. Just because I could put, with the ones that are specifically for recipes on the website, I can have it linked there and keep that information. Whoop. Cool, 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 cool. This is probably... Jeff, if you want some sprouts, there are a million of them. Alright, I'm going to move up the cake, because this is also done. But like I said, I don't want to cut it. No. I probably want it to cool for at least an hour. So the big thing about this, to match the game's image, you are going to have to pop it out and then cut into, like, the look that the game has. Which, again, any of these recipes that I've done tonight interest you, you can find the recipes on those links right there. And with this sandwich, you don't have to make the whole sandwich. If there's a portion that you're like, you know what I really want to try right now is avocado strip sandwich. You could just make that part. You could also mix and match. And then remember, when you're making the sandwich, if you want to make the whole thing, to go ahead and use them skewers. Otherwise, it is going to topple over. The first bite I took, something got stuck in my teeth. Oh my god, I'm not going to be able to eat all this. Take a quarter of this one. There's a lot of... Got a lot of leftovers now. So now, all I got is I'm going to be eating these sandwiches. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got... I did this... I think it's been about 2 months now that I've had my hair this color. Which I'm really happy with. And I found a way to keep it dyed. So I have a nice, like, conditioner that I use weekly. To keep it as vibrant as it is. Which has definitely been nice. At the same time, I'm always now wondering, oh, what other color should I do? Because if I have it set up, I could switch it. For right now, I'm going to be keeping the pink because it's definitely plays nicely. So yeah, I will, if I remember, post on Twitter the results of the cake. Because like I said, it needs probably at least an hour to rest and cool before I start cutting. I think with that, I am probably going to wrap up soon. And then I will send y'all over to one of my fellow stream team peeps. Let me see who's doing what. I'll probably send you... Let me see what everyone's cooking. Jeff, you were there for the first Chocobo sandwich. There were plenty of times where I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why? What kind of mad person am I? Okay, I think I'm going to send you all over to my everybody at Tabatai Cooking. It looks like this evening Grandma's making a meal for Amanda's birthday. They're making some steak frites. Yeah, I'm going to send you all over there. Say hello. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Now, before I wrap up completely, tomorrow I think we're playing. I haven't confirmed with the Badger B, if we're playing a game together. So I have to double check that. If we are, I have no idea what we're doing. But I'm hoping to do a game stream. Yeah, y'all have a wonderful night. Check that out. Next cooking stream will probably be Friday. I'm aiming for noon, but I have a few errands I have to run in the morning. I will let you know if that's going to be a little later. Not sure what I will be testing yet. It'll be delicious, that's for sure. So yeah. Alright, I always forget how to do this. Okay. Here we go. Thank you all. Good night.